Hi everyone, welcome back to our second haiku training session. I hope all of you enjoyed our first session where we started to get oriented and acquainted with the main page of haiku of our class page, how to add pages, and we last week got to see a lot of the add content blocks over here under the content section, files, images. We saw how to put on YouTube and embed other files. Today what I wanted to focus on was this tab over here called Connect and Assess. These are other content blocks that you could add to your class, and as you'll hopefully see, some of them really take your class to the next level and are really great for your students, for yourselves, and really are a great way to increase the learning that goes on. So without further ado, let's check out Connect and Assess. Well, what I'd like to do before we add a content block, I'm actually going to go through the back end and show you where we add all of these things, and then afterwards I'll show you how to put it onto your page. So I'm going to close this, and if you see over here, we're going to be clicking on Connect, and the first thing I want to show you is Announcements. So click on Announcements, and currently we have no announcements. If you see here where it asks me which sections, so if you have various sections for your class, you might want to send this announcement to all your sections or maybe to one section. I'm going to keep it to all sections for now, and I'm going to create a new announcement. So click on Create New Announcement, and I'm going to say, reminder, please remember to bring in your favorite book on Monday to share with the class. And I see two options here. Always on top means it will be the first reminder. If you have a whole slew of reminders, this will be the first one, the top one at all times. You might want to do that if it's extra important. I'm not going to check off for that for now, and whether or not you want it to expire at some point. And since I only need this until Monday, I'm going to have it expire, so I'm going to click over here on the date. Today is March 21st, and they have to bring it in on Monday, so I'm just going to have it posted until Monday. And sections, publish announcement to all sections, click Save. So I'm going to click on Save. Now, right now, this announcement is going to be seen by all of your students on their homepage. We could look later, hopefully on another video, of what your students' page looks like, but it's very similar to yours, to your main homepage. And if you see here, here is my announcement that I just made of reminder, please bring in your favorite book. And it's color-coded orange to correspond to global history. But let's say you want your students to see this announcement on your actual page. So let's go back to my global history page. And this is probably something you'd want to put on your homepage, but for this video I just put it on a separate page called Haiku Training Examples. But in theory, announcements probably would be on the homepage. Now, obviously nothing's here. But if I go to Add Content Block, and I go to Connect and Assess, and I click on Announcements, so I'll title this block Announcements, that's fine, and I'm going to click on Save. And if you see over here, look what's popped up. The announcement that we just made a few minutes ago is here. And from here on out, what you want, if you want to make another announcement in this same block of announcements, you can just click over here to Quick Add and add another announcement. And it's really a great way to remind your students every time they log on. If they have not seen this announcement yet for the first time, it will sort of pop up on their screen, so it's really staring them in the face. And this is really a great tool. Let's move on to another tool I want to show you under the Connect tab. So we're going to click on Connect again, and this time let's check out Discussions. So click on Discussions. Now, discussions, you know, for each teacher his own, but what I really like discussions for are, it serves as a great way for students to offer their opinions and thoughts. It could be open-ended questions. It's also a lot of fun because it sort of looks like a little chat room. We'll see in a minute, you could choose if you want it to be a chat amongst the entire class, amongst the section, maybe just amongst one student. But whenever I like to sort of try to promote the higher order thinking skills, you know, a situational question, what would you have done if you were George Washington in this scenario? And you get to see a lot of creative answers, and it really is a forum for students to voice their opinions, maybe especially for students that might be quieter in the classroom. Again, that's just my way I like to use it as a teacher. Certainly, I'm sure you could find many ways to use discussions. You could have it as a forum for students asking you questions about anything. But let's go ahead and check it out. So click on Add Discussion. You see I already have one here, but let's make a new one. So click on Add Discussion. And I'm going to title this discussion as If You Were a Fruit. And the description is going to say as follows. If you were a fruit, what type of fruit would you be and why? Just a fun question. Well, let's see what they say. And over here I'm given the options. Do I want this to be a class discussion so that the entire class is participating in the discussion? Do I want it to be a section discussion where only members of a certain section, if I've created certain sections in my roster, so as you saw before, I have 2 sections in this class, so I might want to keep those 2 sections separate. We might not exactly be on the exact same page. I could do a group discussion, which would mean I would make a group within a certain section or class if I want to have 2 or 3 students working together, or I can make it one-to-one where each student is just privately talking to me. I'll keep it as section discussion. And let's click on Next. And you just have a few more options here. Do you want students to view other section discussions? I'm going to leave that not checked off. Publish discussion to all sections. That also I'll check it off for now, but again, this is all your preference. And when can students write a post? Is this sort of open anytime, if this is sort of whenever they have a question for you, or is this really an assignment? So for this, we'll do anytime. Why not? Anytime for both sections. You could customize it if you want it for one section or for both. And I'll keep this in my current grading period. And I don't need a grade for this. This is sort of optional, just for fun. So I'm going to take off the grading for now. And I'm going to put this on my Haiku training examples page. And click on Finish. And here you see it's open over here. This one I made, which was closed on March 12th. If you want to open it again, you could click on Manage Discussion and reopen. But let's go back so you see what it looks like on your pages. So you click on Pages. If you go to Haiku Training Examples, where over here you have If You Were a Fruit. If you were a fruit, what type of fruit would you be and why? Oops, spelling mistake. Okay, we'll fix that later. Now, if I click on View Discussions, it's going to be blank. But give me a second, I'm going to pull up one that's not blank just so you see what a discussion can look like. Really a very powerful tool. Okay, so I just jumped pages for a second. I want you to see what a discussion could look like when there's a lot going on. And I'm going to click on this one over here where it says Tell Us About Yourself. This was for a Haiku certified training class that I was in a little while back. It was really a wonderful class. And so let me show you here. So as you see, the topic is Tell Us About Yourself. And we have all of these people who have told us about themselves. Now, I could either create a new post. If I was a student, this is what I'd be seeing. I could either create a new post to introduce myself, or I can comment on what someone else said. So we have Sean McCarthy here, and a bunch of people replied to Sean McCarthy. So if you could imagine this going on in your class, if a student, gives his opinion on what's going on with a current event, whatever that may be, and another student has the option, if you allow it, to reply to that student, and they can really go back and forth with this and really express their opinions and learn how to support their opinions. It's really a great tool for students, and that's the discussion feature. Let me take you back now to our course page and show you another tool or two. Hopefully we'll have time for 1 or 2 more contents blocks. Okay, so we've done announcements, we've done discussion boards or discussions. Let me show you one more that I like to use a lot, and that is the polls feature. So let's go to Connect again and click on polls. Everyone loves polls. They're fun, they're easy to make, they can tell you a lot if you set it up correctly. It's a lot of fun. So once again, very similar. You're going to go to Add Poll, and I'm going to make the question of the poll, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Again, you can make this a real question. I'm just throwing something out here. And I'm going to make a bunch of choices. Chocolate, vanilla, Rocky Road. It's a good one. I could add more choices. cookies and cream. And I could even offer a option that's not here. If I go to, I'll show you in a second, I go to add other, and this will allow the user to type in their own answer. So let me do that too. I'm going to allow everyone in the roster to vote. Myself, students, we'll see what the vote comes out to. And I'm not going to allow the selection of multiple choices. You have to choose your favorite ice cream flavor. And I'm not going to keep it anonymous because maybe if I throw an ice cream party one day, I want to know who's getting what. Click Next. And this is showing me what it looks like. It's a preview. And I'm going to publish it. Once again, it asks me when to display the poll results. So I'm going to have it very immediate. I want everyone to see as the vote's going on as opposed to when it closes. I'll keep the poll open forever. And I'm going to publish the poll block in a existing content block because I actually want it to replace the poll which I already have up now from earlier in the year, which is what's your favorite meal. So this one will replace that one, just so I don't have too many hanging around. And it's warning me here, the poll on the existing block will be replaced by the new poll. That's fine with me. And I'm going to select Home Quick Poll to be replaced and publish. Okay, let's go check it out. Go back to Pages. And we need to go to the home page for this. I guess we have a food theme today, ice cream, fruit. And where's the poll? I have a bunch of things up on my home page. Here it is. Quick poll, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And I'm going to vote. I could always go for vanilla when it comes down to it. I'm boring, but hey, I like it. And here, there's a nice pie chart. You could change it to a bar chart. Really fun, and students really like that. So these are a few features in the Connect tab. I hope you found them useful. There's others I'd like to show you another time as well. Hopefully next week we'll be going through the Assess tab where we do assessments. That's really very important. And hopefully we'll see you all back next week. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend.